Kandy Muse. Okay, so first and foremost, disclaimer, the things that I'm about to say about Kandy, I loved every single queen on that season, so don't think that I came here to throw shade. I didn't. But I am going to be talking about Kandy and voicing some opinions, but also providing some stuff that may be confusing to some people. So, Kandy is odd. She was odd on the show. When she first enters, she's wearing a denim outfit with a boombox, and as soon as she entered, I'm watching with my mom and my brother at that point. I think he was home. Yeah, because that was the day before I got into my car accident. Which, talk about car accidents, we'll get to the runways later on. Kandy, my mom's immediate reaction was, I can't understand her. And I looked at my mom and I'm like, well, okay, what do you mean? And she goes, it's not that I don't understand the drag, I literally cannot understand her. And here's the thing about my mom, she can't hear very well. So we had, subtitles on the first episode. And even with the subtitles, my mom couldn't connect. It got better. She got better. But for the first episode, my mom could not understand her. I could understand her. And she goes up against Joey J. So, Kandy against Joey, and now I hope that they're still lovers. I hope so, because, it would take me completely out of the fantasy if they were like, we broke up. But it's kind of odd because she hasn't seen Joey outside of drag yet, and that's when she really falls in love with him. So, yeah, Kandy completely wipes the floor with Joey. There's no contest. She does wipe the floor with Joey, and sends Joey packing, and she gets to stay while Joey goes to the pork chop loading dock. So the next episode comes around, and Elliot with 2 T's is sent in to the winner's circle, and they are announced that they're going to be doing this song called Congratulations, which Kandy, I think, if it was a bottom 2, she would have been in the bottom 2, if not for the fact of her runways. The thing about Kandy is, while she has the personality that you could either fall in love with or totally hate, she doesn't necessarily have the runway to back it up. So Kandy does this entire song, which my mom still cannot understand Kandy Muse. Literally cannot understand Kandy. And it's not an insult to her. We just, again, it got better. She got better. She got better at enunciating her words. And my mom at this point is like, if I don't understand you, I don't really like you very much. So that's what happened. Kandy was not one of my favorites this episode. She was okay. But that runway, so the runway was LeMay, You Stay. And she comes out in this Ariana Grande 34-35 look. Very fembot, Austin Powers look. And it just doesn't stack up to what I would expect to see on Drag Race. On Drag Race, I would expect her to come out in this beautiful LeMay outfit, and she really doesn't. It was more of a, it wasn't very good, and that put her in danger of going home, but luckily she didn't. So after the pork chop queens do Phenomenon, they meet up, and for the main challenge of the next episode, they have to do the RuPaul Mark episodes, and this is where it kind of gets weird. So Kandy just immediately assigns herself Whoopee Cushion, a clown-based thing in the April Fool's skit, where she is working with Gottmik, Tina Burner, Tamisha Iman, and who else? Joey J. That's who she's working with, I forgot. So, she gets put in the top 3, and category is trains. Now, she was supposed to wear the train look for the finale of the episode, of the season, because of the fact that her other train look was so long she couldn't use it. She decided to just pin a train on her finale gown. And as she's walking out, I look and I'm just thinking, oh, holy crap. No. She's wearing a wig, which we will see later when I talk about Got Mick. And her makeup is not the best. The form is ill-fitting, everything is bad, and I just feel sorry for Kandy. She's even made fun of herself for using that dress, as she always does, and it's so weird. She doesn't defend her choices. She laughs alongside us, which I think is a great quality to have. You know, if you can't beat them, join them. So, obviously, audiences had a problem with Kandy. You know, it was like, okay, we get it, you're like this loud, wonderful person, but you need to show the fashion as well. And, I mean, it didn't help that during the ball episode, she walks in one of the, what I would describe, one of the most tackiest outfits, her rich bitch look. Now, I love Kandy, and I love what she has done, but however, that rich bitch look was probably one of the worst things I've seen. It had a dollar bill afro, like dollar bills everywhere, which, I mean, yeah, you're rich, but you kind of look like Scrooge McDuck when you wear dollar bills and stuff. And that's the vibe I was getting from it. Luckily, she was safe that episode, but I was just thinking, yeah, that ain't gonna fly. We need you to step it up. You're sort of falling behind. Luckily, again, she was safe. But during Untucked, fan favorite Tamisha Iman, who was coming for you, just decides to come for Kandy for no reason. And I will say that Tamisha did just pull Kandy's wig out from under her for no reason. She threw the marbles a little bit too early, and Nomi saw them, and now you know, Kandy is on the attack. This Kandy has gone sour. And fans were not having it. They immediately contacted Kandy's mom. They were sending death threats. And all I have to say to that is, that's so immature for anybody to send death threats to Kandy. Kandy didn't deserve that. She kind of, you know, she didn't deserve to be reprimanded, but you don't have to comment on Kandy if you don't want to. And so Kandy was trying to defend herself after that episode, but not only did she make good drama, it was very obvious that whenever they would be in a lip sync and one of them would win, that the fandom could either go, yay, good, Tamisha won, or boo, Kandy won. And that's exactly what happened. The next episode, she gets put in the bottom two against Tamisha, for no other reason than the fact that they didn't want to put Got Mick up against Kandy, and that they wanted to send Tamisha home. And this is what I call production. I'm going to call out production here for a minute. That's really shitty. That is really shitty to do. They're setting her up like Silky, who I'll get to in a later video. I think that Silky's also amazing. But where they think America is really going to enjoy Kandy, but in all actuality, we would have much preferred Tamisha over Kandy to stay. And in the moment, that's something to quote here. In the moment, we wanted Kandy to stay. We wanted Tamisha to stay. After Tamisha leaves, the threats become more and more unbearable for Kandy. And that's when World of Wonder steps in and goes, hey, fans, leave her the fuck alone. And it's not that Kandy couldn't defend herself, but I'm glad that they stepped in, because more and more people of color are getting antagonized on the show for no other reason than they want somebody else to win. So Kandy was getting antagonized just like Britta had before her, just like, Jasmine Masters had before her. So, I mean, in Silky. So honestly, and not to mention, these are plus-size women of color, queens of color, which makes it even worse, The jokes were unimaginably cruel to Kandy, and even to Britta, who they should have released these statements after Britta got so caught up in the drama that she almost ended her own life. So Kandy finally makes it to the Rusical and gets put in the bottom 2. Now, before that, I do have to mention I loved her makeup and her dress for the Beat It runway, but it's really nothing of note. Yes, she gets put in the top 3, but she doesn't win. That's something to note. Kandy, once again, gets put in the bottom 2 during the Rusical, where, oddly enough, where we thought that Kandy was going to sashay away, she gets chosen to stay with Simone. It's a double Shantae, and I don't know if it was the time and place for that. I think that Kandy and Tamisha could have been a double Shantae, but oh well. So Kandy then gets saved next week during Snatch Game in what I would call a mediocre look. It wasn't the worst, and her Patrick Star was just her talking. And really, the criticism here lies in the fact that she just didn't live up to expectations, but wasn't as bad as the other 3. So Kandy goes on to the makeover challenge, and really I think that the makeover challenge is stupid, so I'm not going to really comment on it until we get to like Denali and, well, just really Denali, because the rest of the placements really don't matter. But Kandy gets to move on to the top 7, where she uses the VIP drink. She brands herself as like the VIP drink, and it's really funny. It was one of the funniest things. But then she comes out in Beast Couture. Listen. What type of Kimora Hall, Conehead, E.T. fantasy are you selling us, Kandy? We just need to know. Because the makeup is just, the outfit is this green screen green with a bald cap type thing. It's like a morph suit that you would find at like a Party City store. And this bra made out of fur. And these panties made out of fur. And her face is just like with like these dark Ursula eyes and these really red Ursula lips. And I think that she could have cosplayed as Ursula, and it would have been a lot better than this. And she has like a blow-up alien doll on her back that she can move around. And the alien's kind of hugging her, and it has this face that is like if the Wicked Witch and Smeagol from Lord of the Rings had a baby. I would have much preferred Katya's sex doll over the hugging doll that she brought out. Now, this doesn't mean that her commercial wasn't good. Her commercial was fantastic. But again, you have to have the look to back it up. Which means by episode 6, we are craving some good Kandy, okay? We don't want any, jawbreakers, gobstoppers. We need some good Twix bar action up in here. We need some Almond Joy. Listen, if you guys don't like Almond Joys, that's fine. I like Almond Joy, so I'm going to stick with that. That is my favorite candy, okay? Actually, no, Mounds. Mounds are my favorite. I just spit. Jesus Christ. But, everybody has their preference of candy. Mine is also hilarious candy, which is what we get in the roast. Kandy is hilarious. Are half of her jokes stolen from Lady Bunny? Jury's still out on that one. But she is funny. She finally is funny. Luckily, she does win this episode, but sadly, we have to get rid of Utica. Which, when I talk about Utica, it will come into light why they have to get rid of Utica. But Kandy actually wins something but then is immediately placed in the bottom 2. In the top 5 episode, they have to do this, like, pocket look, and I never understood it. And when she came out, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Listen, Kandy has worked with Aja and Dahlia Sin, 2 queens who are really crafty, and also Dahlia can serve some looks. So why is Kandy walking out in this? Why? I'm so confused. Why is her hair, like... It gets me flustered just talking about it, because I know that Kandy can do better. We've seen makeup that's better. Actually, her makeup is good when it's natural. But as soon as she adds, like, really bright neon colors to her face, it just doesn't work. And my mom, at this point, is sitting there going, okay, if Kandy has to lip sync against Olivia, she's probably going to go home. And she doesn't. Because Kandy does one of the best lip syncs, I think, of the season with Olivia. And she throws glitter out of her boobs. She dances, she twirls, she spins, she takes off her wig. It is amazing, and I love her so much for it. But I do have to agree with my mom. If it was a runway competition and not a talent competition, Kandy Muse would have been gone a while ago, because of the fact that her costumes did not match what everybody else was giving. So we get to the final 4, and really, her verse in Lucky is, I mean, yeah, it's my least favorite, but I love it. I love the whole song. Really, it gives off Roxy Andrews vibes, or, Trinity Taylor vibes. It's like, they're not gonna really win, but they're here. So Kandy makes it to the top 4, and Kandy now has to lip sync against Rosé. I don't really know why she wins, but she wins against Rosé, who was a lot of people's pick to move forward in the competition. She lip syncs to Work Bitch, and both of them really, either Mercedes or Kahana versus those two, Kahana and Mercedes would have won it. But Kandy, I think, does an okay job. So she gets to move on to the final lip sync against Simone. And it is at this point that she probably realizes, nope, I'm not going to win this. Simone is here. And she kind of doesn't do it justice. My mom said something that I kind of agree with, which was, if she had changed outfits from her first lip sync and used that outfit for her second lip sync, she would have done a lot better. But that means she wouldn't have won her first lip sync. But I think if she had won her first lip sync and then worn that outfit, she might have had a really good fighting chance. But at this point, Simone kind of just overtakes her and wins the crown. I'm hoping we do get to see Kandy on All Stars, mostly because she needs to show more of her personality that isn't, being everybody's least favorite. So, with that being said, my name is Jacob Ferguson. If you guys would like to leave a comment on who I should do next from Season 13, I'm going to leave 3 queens. Gottmik, Rosé, and Olivia. Bye, guys.